What's good, Call of Duty fans, and welcome back to episode 55, I believe it is, of Around the CDL. We are down a man. For anyone that's, if you're listening to Spotify, I guess you wouldn't tell yet, but Alex is not here. Dude is in the absolute blender at work this week. And then obviously this is not the normal day we do the show. It's been crazy, scheduling and internet issues and all the above trying to get this show to happen. But Preston and I are going to hold it down, be a little bit of a quicker show this week. But we're going to hit the big topics, give our pick'ems for the last week online quals. And yeah, man, Preston, how's it going, bro? I know you're in the blender too.
I am. I'm in the blender currently with life. Super busy. But, god damn, if it isn't like the first week of the year that is OpTic fans get to cheer. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. I loved watching COD this week, dude. I've been saying for weeks that my love for watching it has just fallen apart, and it's hard to get through series because we were ass. And now I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm itching to watch more series. I can't wait for them to play. I'm turned, man. I'm turned. It's been an absolute whirlwind of a season, but it's finally looking up a little bit. So,
hey, that's all you can do, right? I mean, that's going to be the big talking point. Also, shout out to 1v1me, as always, presenting sponsor of the show. And we've seen some people have been using our code on 1v1me. So shout out to those people that signed up, gave the app a try. Let us know if you're one of them, what you think. But as always, shout out to them, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. But let's talk about like the main topic, right? Let's talk about the main topic. That's OpTic Mercules. Like you said, this has been the first time in a while you guys have been able to cheer for OpTic, it feels like. Other than that, I guess the major one online qualifiers.
Yeah, I guess.
What was it like for you to have this guy come in and see him outperform literal MVP world champion players on your favorite roster?
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, we were talking, we have our text chat. And this entire time, Alex and I were like, dude, we need this guy. We need this guy beforehand. But we said that because we looked ass. We didn't say this because this guy was going to start walking on water. This guy is unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Rafi has been hyping this guy up for months, chat. Literal months.
Even longer than that.
He's one of Rafi's favorite players ever. And, I mean, it's clear to see why. I mean, this kid is fucking disgusting. To come into a team within 2 series, and everybody in the CDL that watches, casters, analysts, fans, owners, players, it doesn't matter, say that he's the best player on the team with a team of Shotzi and Dashy, and you can't even disrespect Hook, is unbelievable. But he is our best player within 2 series. That is not an exaggeration. That is dead ass. He's unreal. And I'm fucking excited about it. Do I think that they come in and like start winning everything? Fuck no. But it's at least exciting, to say the least. And they're fun to watch. And the pace is night and day difference. They're faster. He's individually better than any flex that we've had. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how much they can actually do, how fast. I mean, they got to go, though. They don't have much time. They got to go. This is the last tournament, and then we got Jamps, and then we got EWC. So I'm just excited. I'm excited. I think long-term is what I'm really excited for because he's so young. And very rarely does an individual player of this skill just come around and kind of fall into your lap. So I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he does it all, right? He clearly has the gunny, right? It's unquestionable that he can shoot his gun. He even can move pretty well, especially for an AR player. You see the movement, but he's a true flex. He'll bring out the sub, which is awesome to have as a player. You need an AR player that's willing to take out the sub when necessary, especially on certain maps. He's willing to take a route, which is really, really good. He's not going to play slow. He can get in the hill. His comms are good. They're very calm, too. He's not like a really hyper, like, comms guy. His decision-making is amazing. He plays his life really, really well. Like, some of the best I've seen in a minute of a player that, like, is just getting into the league. Like, up there with some of the best at playing his life. The willingness to take a route, right? Like, I think the effect he has on this team is similar to what we saw with Super earlier this year when he came onto Miami. Now, Miami already had a top 3 with Lucky before Super came in, but Super comes in as a faster AR that's willing to take out a sub and is also willing to hit a route. And we just saw the floor and the ceiling of that Miami team rise. I mean, they were able to beat Ultra on LAN. Then they ended up losing to him, but they beat Ultra. They beat FaZe. They beat Thieves online. Like, their ceiling and their floor rises with a guy like Super and his playstyle. And I think Mercules is going to do just that. Now, obviously, they go 1-1 this weekend, so of course everyone might be looked at as like overreacting because they lose to Boston, but they just lost their searches, which has always been a problem for OpTic, so they got to figure that out. But Merc played great in that series, right? He played good in that one. Also, shout out Upcast for the $2 super chat, my guy. He's not wrong. Merc is the truth.
If there is a game mode that a brand new team, especially with a player that is, younger and still kind of raw in terms of his abilities and his CDL prowess, S&D is going to be the game mode that teams are going to struggle in the most. And then you put on top of that they've kind of struggled in S&D for the most part all year. That doesn't surprise me that they lost 2 S&Ds to Boston.
Yeah.
I was just kind of impressed with how good their respawn looked. And their control looks infinitely better, which I think is going to matter if they actually want to like start making some runs at some tournaments. That's the one game mode that we preach all the time, man. If you are like consistently good at that game mode, you are never out of a series. So their control looks good. Like you said, he plays his life so well.
Dude, the control versus Boston on Hacienda, he was the only one getting on the point on offense. And the amount of times he stayed alive, especially on that B point on Hasi, and gave his teammates time to actually get into the play, where you got like Shotzi and Hook taking these deep routes, trying to get behind people, office, fish, whatever you want to call it. And he's just sitting on B by himself, pausing the clock. It was so impressive that he was able to make the right plays when he has these veterans on the team that maybe should be making those plays, you would think, on the map. And also, I mean, like we've been saying, he plays his life and he can get kills, which is perfect in control because you can get more kills than the other team. As long as the time doesn't run out, you're just going to kill him 30 times and you're going to win the round. So he has been exceptional and he's been good at every single mode. I mean, I have his stats on screen from the 6 matches he played on LAN with Ultra and the 2 matches he played online with OpTic. He's only gone negative once, and that was -2, right? And that was the first match he's ever played in the CDL. He's been competent in every single mode. His control has been really good if you look at those numbers. His Slayer rating is honestly really solid, especially for an AR player. This kid's good, man. This kid's really good, and he feels like the full package. So OpTic definitely is licking their lips right now and thinking about what this team could end up being going into next year. But even this year is not over yet, right? You're going to qual for champs. You got Major 4. You got EWC to worry about later. It's got to feel pretty good for the Green Wall.
Oh, definitely. I'm like I said, I'm curious to see how the rest of the season goes because somebody asked me in chat, and I've been getting DMs and questions all the time. What does OpTic do in the offseason? What do you think happens? You got to see how these next events go, man. You actually got to see how these next events go, and then you go from there because then you'll see who becomes available and who you can maybe go after. But these next events are going to matter drastically for what happens with OpTic. So, I don't know. I'm actually so excited. Like, I get to watch my team and be happy again. It doesn't matter. Like, I was with you on the watch party Friday. They lost. And
you're still geeking a little bit.
I'm like, that's a good ass loss, dude. That's a good ass loss.
It's better than getting smoked, I guess.
Exactly. So I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, this kid is, it's gonna be awesome to see how he continues to play because he's come in with a pretty high bar. I think he set for himself in order to, he's not dropping a 1.3, a 1.5 in every series, right? Even Celium's not dropping those numbers across the season. But he definitely has proven he can do it on LAN. He's proven he can do it online. He can do it in every mode and almost every facet of the game that we've talked about. It's definitely super exciting. And I mean, I would think if you're OpTic, right, you're at the very least Merc, Dashy, Shotzi team of 3 going into next season, depending on how Hook plays. And then obviously, I mean, Shotzi and Dashy are only gone if they want to be gone. Whether they decide to leave or decide to retire, other than that, they're not leaving OpTic. So, and there's no way they're letting this kid go in this offseason, right? It's just not gonna happen. So it's definitely super interesting. And I mean, looking at who OpTic play, one second. Looking at who OpTic play, which Ultra. I mean, we're gonna obviously do our pick'ems here in a couple minutes, but LAG and Toronto feels like a 1-1 at the worst, right? Because it's just like, how do you lose to LAG? No disrespect to the LA Gorilla Omit mates. But Ultra is going to be a test, man. Ultra is going to be a test for this kid to see how he can play against a really, really good team in a big match. X team too, right? He played 6 games with them.
I mean,
you know, Beans wants to win. You know, Merc wants to win.
Yeah, we'll see. Listen, if they, I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little worried in the S&Ds. Ultra's a pretty solid S&D team to begin with, so that kind of freaks me out because that's going to be the game mode that I think we struggle in the most. So
yeah.
If Ultra win a game 5 in that series, I'm ecstatic about it because that doesn't surprise me, and we went 5 with a very good team. Which means that we somehow managed to win 2 respawns, which I'd be very happy with. But I'll be excited. I mean, obviously I want them to win, but for the first time this year, I'm like, these guys can actually well, maybe second. At the beginning of the year, they were better than Ultra to start, but I'm like, these guys can actually keep up with Ultra. Like 3-4 weeks ago, I probably would have went into this match like, holy shit, we're gonna get fried. So,
I mean, you really just need Shotzi and Hook not to scam. And you need Dashy to be locked in. And like, we've seen what all those players are capable of when they're having a good series. They just got to figure out how they can replicate that on a regular basis. Because that's been their biggest issue is some series Shotzi's cooking, Dashy's cooking, and the next they're getting cooked, making dumb plays. So, and I know that's, you know, something that happens when you have Shotzi and Hook on your team specifically as like guys who will go rogue, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But it's going to be a very interesting series, them versus Toronto. And then obviously, I mean, the major is right around the corner, right? And OpTic is going to be in winners unless they somehow lose both of these. And even at that, a 2-3 record might be able to get you in there. At least it has in the past split. If they come in as, let's say, 3-2, probably as an upper half seed, looking pretty good for OpTic. I think I saw actually a projection from one of those CDL stats pages on Twitter. It might have been like CDL metrics. That the projection based on what they have when they run their simulations is an OpTic LAT winners round 1 at Major 4, which is would definitely be pretty sick, especially because we're going to be in there. And also Upcast with another 2. He said taking the Beans over. I think Beans might play with a little extra chip on his shoulder, but Beans more as a troll, like as a fun. Yeah. But this major shaping up pretty interesting, man. I mean, look at the records. There is 5 teams from 6 through 10 that are all 1-2 right now, right? Like LAG's cooked, especially because we know they play OpTic. They're probably going to lose that. Falcons, I think they play FaZe as their last match, so that's probably not looking good. But 1-2 for Boston, Rocker, Raven, Surge, Thieves. And then you got Cloud9, whose their last match is against Thieves, which if they lose that, like most people would predict, they'd be 2-3. There's going to be a lot of teams sitting in that 2-3, 3-2 range. And seeding is going to be really fun next week to do our bracket predictions, which also leads me to, if you're watching this right now, next week, we're going to bring on some, whatever you want to call it, guest callers, essentially, people from chat through the Discord server, which is linked down below, to come on the show and give us either predictions, hot takes, things about the major coming up for DreamHack. So if you're interested in hopping on the show for a few minutes and talking with us about what you think's going to happen in the major, definitely join the Discord and stay tuned for next week. I would hope, actually, when are you back? Like, when are we doing the show next week?
I come back Sunday, so if we want to do it Monday, we can.
All right, so hopefully Monday night, like usual, 9:30 Eastern, but at least follow us on Twitter, which is also linked down below, just in case that changes.
I do have a hockey game, but let me see. As long as it's not 10 o'clock, I'll be able
this
to
guy
do
Preston,
it, so.
This guy Preston's going to Disneyland with his girl, and then he's coming back home, and he's flying into PJ down here to DreamHack. He's all over the world, Chad. He's Mr. Worldwide, bro.
I'm so sure.
He's really Mr. Worldwide.
Sure. Oh, wait. Just kidding. We play Tuesday, so I'll be good for Monday.
All right. So Monday night, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific is probably when we'll go live. And then, you know, we'll do our normal Yap sesh first, but probably about 30 to 45 minutes into that show. Maybe an hour in, we'll start bringing on some people. So stay tuned for that, as always. But yeah, let's, is there anything else you wanted to touch on from like matches this week? Anything that surprised you? Any players, storylines, anything? I know we wanted to keep this one a little quicker so you can get to Betty by for your 3 a.m. flight.
I
don't think anything super crazy happened.
Surge looked back.
I mean, Surge looked back. I was going to say C9 beat FaZe.
C9 did beat FaZe and then kind of choked versus Miami, but they beat FaZe.
Which was, Everyone went negative except for Celium and Kremp in that series, which is pretty crazy.
I really can't tell what FaZe. FaZe is just so weird to me. They're so weird to me. Like, part of me thinks they don't try online, and then the day after they'll just fucking slam somebody. Like, I just don't know if they just don't care enough online, and they actually 100% care when it comes to LAN time, or if we've been saying for weeks that their hardpoint still is not where it needs to be, and that's why they're losing these series. Because I mean, they lost both hardpoints in that series, right? Yeah, 3-1. So
yeah. They only won the SND comfortably, but
so I don't know, man. FaZe is a little bit. They're so fucking good, and then you just expect everybody to. You just expect them to run through everybody, and they've been struggling in that game mode. I really do expect them to figure it out, but they're still. I can't confidently sit here and say that they're gonna win an event because their hardpoint does not look good enough to win an event right now. Until their hardpoint gets better, then I'll be back on. Okay, these guys are fucking everything, but
yeah,
they would need so much luck bracket luck to actually win an event with the hardpoint looking the way that it is. Because I mean, their S&D looks good, which helps. But
yeah, I mean it's best in the league, I would say probably.
You gotta at least win. I'd say probably close to 50% of your hardpoints if you're gonna win an event would be my guess at the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I think for one, FaZe definitely isn't as locked in online as they are on LAN, obviously, which is probably the case for most teams and most players. But it's that hard point. I think at least a couple weeks ago when I looked, they were the worst hold team in the game, I think, in hardpoint. Like, they get broke constantly. And definitely when I watch, I feel like sometimes they don't rotate well enough on certain maps. And obviously, their hardpoint map pool, I keep getting freaking ads for sports cards and stuff. It's like Google's tracking me. I mean, when you look at their overall records, they're 42-27 in hardpoint, right? I mean, they got a lot of reps and they have a positive record. But they're 4-4 on Skyline. They're 7-6 on Vault, right? So that's basically 500 on those two. They're 2-2 on Rewind. They're 9-5 on Red Card. And then they're 10-8 on Hasi, right? Protocol's gone, and they were 10-2 on that. So you take out Protocol, they're actually 32-25, which is much closer to 500 in terms of hard points. So they definitely need to figure out their map pool. And I'm sure on LAN, they're going to lock in a bit more, but it's definitely a little weird to see them struggle, especially because I feel like Simp and Abizi have definitely had some difficulties in HP this year. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect for them. It's been kind of hard to diagnose what their issue is, but once it comes to LAN, that'll be the real thing for FaZe at the end of the day, as it always is. But, yeah, and then like you said, Surge looked a bit more back this week. I mean, they 3-0'd Boston. Was that their only series? Yeah, I mean, Surge and LAT both 3-0'd in the only series they played after starting 0-2. So that was definitely good to see for both of the grand finalists to bounce back. We'll see if either of them can make the grand final at the major. That'll definitely be a big one to see. But you want to just get into our pick'ems?
Let's do it, man.
Let's get into our pick'ems. But first, as always, we just want to shout out 1v1me for sponsoring. If you guys haven't already, click the link down below. Check it out. You can watch and stake esports from COD, which is obviously the one most people would use here. But Madden, FC, 2K, watch and stake esports all day and use our code. And as always, these guys are legit, man. They got a lot of 5-star reviews on the App Store. Over $100 million milestone they hit recently of money given out to people staking on the app, which is pretty crazy. So shout out to 1v1me as always. And if you have used it, let us know what you think down below in the comments. But let's get back to the pick'ems. Where is this at? Okay, let me hold on. Google Chrome's a little chopped. One sec. Upcast with another 2, by the way. Yeah, dude, I saw. Did you see that Maven and Nameless? They dropped their MVP ballots or whatever. They did it on Sunday, the last broadcast. But Maven had Simp #1, which I thought was a hot take. I get it, Simp's been good, but to have him over, I mean, even over just his teammate Celium, to me is crazy.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I had Simp before, not so much anymore. And he didn't have Scrap on his list, which is fucking
He didn't have
crazy.
Scrap on his list either.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Maven is fucking fried. Who knows?
Yeah, I think Simp's like 3/4 on my list. I'd probably give him 3 just because he has the major one MVP. I'd give him over Hydra or Nep or Jod. But I think Cell and Scrap are for sure 1 and 2, whichever order you want to do. But listen, we're going to be doing our award ceremony in not too long, right? Not too long. So stay tuned for that show. That's going to be absolutely fire. But let's get into these pick'ems.
Last pick'ems of the year, man.
Well, last online pick'ems of the year. Yeah, last online pick'ems. But shit, man, this is it. This is it. OpTic versus LAG kicks us off on Friday. Are you going to be watching this while you're in Disneyland? On your phone?
No, probably not, unfortunately. But I will watch it when I'm probably at the airport on Sunday, would be my guess. But it doesn't matter because I think this is going to be a 40-minute series anyway. So I'm going to take OpTic 3-0.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Upcast with another 5. He said, low-key Draws is my MVP. Guy's been insane and been overlooked like crazy. I mean, I think Draws definitely is overlooked. I wouldn't give him MVP, right? Because I think Celium's been better, in my opinion. But I do think we talked about it on my other show, Champ Sunday, when we did an episode together a couple weeks ago. We talked about Draws, and I think I said like slightly underrated, and you said like perfectly rated, but maybe teetering on underrated. He definitely, I feel like, does get overlooked because of the people he plays with. But Upcast, thank you for another 5, brother. Yeah, I got OpTic. I'm going to go 3-1. I think LAG will just somehow win one of these maps. Like, they usually keep them close for the most part, and OpTic's still learning. Maybe it'll be the Search and Destroy, a little Johnny takeover, or something of the sort. All right, then we got Minnesota Rocker versus the Carolina Royal Ravens, the Burger Bowl. The end-all Burger Bowls here. I'm going to go Ravens in this one. I'm going to go Ravens 3-2, because that's what Rocker always do, but I just feel a little bit like the Ravens are a bit more consistent at like getting the job done, so I'm going them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens here too.
Mm-hmm.
I could really use a pick'em point, but I just don't think Rocker have what it takes to get this series done. And every single time that Rocker lose, it helps OpTic. So
that is true.
I'm going for a 2 for here.
I mean, listen, at this point, if OpTic goes 1-1 this weekend, they pretty much just need like C9 or Rocker to not make like, I don't even know what they would need. A top 3 maybe to pass OpTic in points. Like, you need them not to have a miracle run, which I would think OpTic's safe. I mean, I said they were safe like 2 weeks ago, but I still think they're looking probably pretty good here. Okay, and then we round out the day with, I mean, you know, it's Boston Breach versus LAT. We've seen this be a banger in the past, but I don't think this one is going to be as much of a banger, and I'm going to go LAT 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 as well.
No disrespect to Boston, because listen, they cooked our shit on LAN and Major too, but Boston's just been really not that good recently, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm taking LA easy. And also, we don't know Alex's pick'ems right now. We got to get him to send it to us, and anyone in chat is wondering. So Alex and I usually match up pretty close, so I'd imagine he's going to have a similar to what I have, but we'll see. We'll continue to go. All right, Atlanta FaZe versus the Vegas Falcons starts us off on Saturday. Do you think FaZe and Falcons, either one of them, who do you think ends this split strong with a dub?
I'm going to take FaZe, but I'm going to give Falcons a map. So I'll go FaZe 3-1. I don't know what map, but maybe a hard point.
I mean, Falcons, best mode, quote unquote, is hard point, although they've been kind of bad at everything recently. So I agree with you. I'm going to go FaZe 3-1. Falcons will probably win 1, or they'll get smoked. Or they'll get smoked. So yeah. Second match of the day, though, is actually honestly, Saturday is a pretty solid day of matches across the board. Second match of the day, though, you got an up-and-coming new Cloud9 roster versus, obviously, LAT. So, I mean, I'll go first because everyone knows I'm biased. I'm going to go LAT here. I'm going to give C9 a map just because I think they're a quality team. But you know I'm picking my thieves in this one.
Yeah, I'll take Cloud9 here. I'll take the upset.
Okay, I hear you.
Pick them, and I think Cloud9 has been playing pretty well. Mm-hmm. So don't think that LAT is really a team that I like to go against. But
I mean, it worked for you the first week.
It did, and I'm still down points. So yeah. I could see this being a potential.
And upset. You do gotta also. I mean, I guess LAT. I was gonna say C9's playing with like a chip on their shoulder because they need points to qualify for champs. But also LAT kind of needs this win to like really secure that winner's bracket spot. So I think both teams will be trying, but I can't pick against my guys.
Of course.
Then we got Ravens versus Heretics, which it's one of those series that's like decent if the Ravens show up. But obviously, you know, them showing up is closer to 50-50 than Miami because they're pretty consistent. So I got Miami in this one. I'm gonna go 3-1, and that would have them ending the split 5-0, by the way, because Miami's 4-0 right now. So
Yeah, I saw a little tweet that I think maybe I'm starting to see through these fuckers. But I'm gonna take Miami 3-0. I just think they're better in every game mode. Um,
yeah,
I think they might have some online S&D cheese. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, Super's S&D KD went from like a 1.4 to a 0.7 on land.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, he's on Kismet watch right now. He's on Kismet watch.
We'll have to see what happens next
That's
weekend.
insane. Also, Ed with the $5, my guy. That is absolutely insane joke that YouTube might demonetize me if I read out loud. But Ed, appreciate you. Okay, and then last match of the day is an absolute banger. It's a classic. It's a great series that we have seen. I mean, we've seen it 5 times in 2025 already. And it is currently 3-2 in favor of Surge in that matchup. And the pick'ems are almost perfectly 50-50. There's a very slight edge for the Vancouver Surge, according to the fan base. What do you got in this one? Because this one's actually like, this one's pretty tough.
I'm gonna let you go first
Of
because
course he is.
I'm gonna take the opposite because this is one where I'm okay with taking either team.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna back Toronto Ultra in this one. I'll go 3-2. I just think Toronto's looked a bit stronger, right? I know Surge had a nice bounce back this past weekend after starting slow, but I'm gonna back the Toronto boys to. I mean, I think they would potentially, if I haven't beaten OpTic, they would also be 5-0 like Miami at this rate. So, but I'm gonna back Toronto.
I'm gonna take Surge 3-2 as well. Just flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I need some points, and I'm okay with taking either one of these guys. So.
I mean, this is a 50-50, right? Like, I guess in current form, it probably leans Ultra a little bit, but you know what Surge can do at their best. I mean, they can beat Ultra at their best, and they have done more often than not. So that's been a low-key banger matchup this year. I didn't realize how many times they had played each other in just 5 months, 4.5 months.
Yeah.
Okay, then we go to Sunday, the last day of online matches in Black Ops 6. Kind of sad. Exciting, but sad.
And it starts off with this bullshit.
And it starts off with a banger, yeah, it's Boston Breach versus LAG. I'm going Boston. I'm going game 5. I don't know why. I feel like it goes 5, but I'm going to go Breach.
I'm going to take the LAG mates in a game 5. They end the season on a dub, their last match of the year before EWC, of course. They're gonna end on a W in a game.
I mean,
5 W.
honestly, I would like that. That's still. I mean, I guess they go to the major. They still have to go to major 4.
Oh,
so they'll end on a loss there unless they win the event. But yeah. Damn. Yeah, you got to think like even though they're it's like their goal is to win, and obviously you kind of want to play well to keep your spot on this team for EWC. You got to think there is like not that much drive in them to win this series. Last online match, maybe when they get to like the major, they'll be a little more locked, right? Try to get some prize money and show out on land. But you got to think you're just coming into this like, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
Okay, second match of the day, we got OpTic versus Toronto Ultra. And the fans have slowly started to come back to OpTic. It is 54% Ultra. So it's still favoring Toronto in the pick'ems. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Toronto Ultra in this one. I'm going to go Toronto. I'm going to go 3-2 for the storyline, but I'm going to go Toronto Ultra because I just am more confident in them across the board, but especially in SND. So for the story, give me a game 5, Beans versus Mercules, round 11, 1v1, as always. So, you know what we like to see. Those never happen when I say it, but I'm going Toronto.
I'm going OpTic. I'm going OpTic 3-1. They win all 3 respawns. Lose the S&D. That is the only way they win the series to me. So that's the way that I'm going to take it.
That would be tippable to win all 3 respawns against Toronto.
All three respawns.
That would be hella tippable. And I mean, that would be some big wins for OpTic. If they come out of this split having beat Surge and Ultra both in the qualifiers, that would be super nice for them. Okay, and then last match of the weekend, or of the entire season online, is Surge versus Rocker. Not exactly the most interesting. I'm going to go Surge, and I'm going to go Surge in a 3-1 fashion. But what do you got?
I'm going to go Surge 3-0.
My bad, Kenny.
I just don't have much faith in this Rucker team, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel bad. Dude, I saw someone tweet out that I think it was, I forget what the number, only 3 of the 8 finalists from last year are going to make champs, right? Shotzi, Dashi, and Hydra. Everyone else isn't going to qualify, which is pretty crazy, right? Pred, Kenny, both not going to qual. Skies, Kiz, Sib, not going to qual.
Jeez.
Which is kind of crazy to think that, like, you come from literally the highest of highs to not even making the tournament. But listen, anything's still technically possible for for Rocker, C9, and OpTic at this major, right? They're not mathematically out of the equation like LAG and Falcons are. So OpTic just needs to stay locked and close out this season, and they'll be at champs. Right. But let me save my pick'ems before I forget. Like that, bang. But yeah, dude, it's going to be, I mean, it's the last week online, and it obviously means something qualifying or seeding for the major. But I'm going to try to force myself to be locked on this watch party this weekend, because some of these matches, like Boston versus LAG, how am I going to focus on that series?
Yeah, that's just one of those.
That's just like,
one of those series where it's like, fuck, man.
But at least Saturday is pretty good.
That's the series that first map will be 250, 240. It'll be a 6-5, 3-2, 250, 230, 6-5. It's 2.5 hours long, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, you just, it's the last day and they're doing this to us. Yeah. But I'm excited for DreamHack. I'm so excited for DreamHack. And also, chat, if you guys got any questions or topics you want us to answer, feel free to drop them in the chat now. But I can't wait to go to the event and not only see like COD, obviously, but what DreamHack is like. Sucks that I can't watch party. We can't watch party, but seeing homies from the community, people that we met at last of previous events, or new people that we met or that we haven't met yet, vibing out, eating good food, hopefully, probably spending a shit ton of money on the food because everything's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But, you know, it's going to be lit, man. It's going to be a really cool time. Pull up the patch notes from yesterday. Let me see. Lag Ops 6 patch. I did see that, I saw like Treyarch's tweet, and in the tweet it said like CODCaster UI fixes, which is a W, obviously. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Let me see. Let me zoom this in. CODCaster addressed an issue where the obituary would not properly display the players' names in CDL modes, addressed an issue where control point information would be missing, addressed an issue where bomb icons would be missing in SND, addressed an issue where hill timer would be missing in HP. Okay, so they fix all these issues that I guess they broke in the most recent update. But I don't even, are they going to even go to the new update? I mean, obviously not before the major, they're not going to. But, like, are they even going to, maybe before champs, I guess, because they got 3 weeks? They got 3 weeks to scrim and learn it?
Yeah, that's my guess.
I mean, according to, you know, what people have said, right, spawn points and control changed. Like, there's some stuff that changed. So, it's going to be a bit of a little learning curve here for some of these teams if they switch after this major heading into champs and people got to relearn certain things. It could definitely affect the balance. Some of your bad control teams might get better. Some of your good control teams might get worse, specifically in that mode for the spawns thing that happened.
Uh-oh. Are LAT cooked?
I sure hope not. That would be really bad. They are playing, yes, J-Rock. They're playing on the old update now, but we're saying after Major 4, if they go to the new update, they'll have to learn all the new spawns. But, I mean, at least they fixed that, because the fact that they were supposedly fixing CODCaster in that update and it made it even worse is hilarious. I mean, it's so COD, but it's hilarious.
So COD. Literally so COD.
I never expect anything to work, honestly. Like, CODCaster has been broken since, I believe, like, midway through Vanguard or something along those lines, which is just insane to say that it's never been fixed. But they just don't care. They're shameless. They don't care if their esport looks amateur.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll move to the new patch. I mean, I could see them potentially doing it before champs because there's a big enough break. But also, I feel like that's kind of like I don't know. You might as well just play on this patch for the rest of the season at this point. Maybe before EWC because it's not as like it's not champs. But I don't know. We'll see what they do. I don't really know if there's any like hints on what's going to happen with that. But maybe everything will be fixed for next year. You know, maybe Black Ops 7 will be the year. Good maps, good spawns, good CODCaster. The uplink is back with wall jumping and shit. You know, Scump comes out of retirement with Nade Shot and they buy out a spot and they form their own roster.
They get top 12 every event.
Oh my god, but it'd be cinema. It would be cinema. Imagine if Scump and Nade Shot both left their respective orgs, started their own org, and bought a spot in the CDL and then unretired and played together.
Yeah, I mean, they just wouldn't be good.
I mean, but think about the content. Think about the content.
It would be content for sure.
It would be banger content. Man. But yeah, chat, what are you guys thinking headed into the end of this season, into Major 4 champs? What do you guys got right now in terms of like predicted winners, MVP, Rookie of the Year, any hot takes? Who do you think's Rookie of the Year? Let's talk about that. I mean, I know your answer because you answered in my tweet that I posted the other day, but who do you think's Rookie of the Year?
I would say Super. I would say Super wins Rookie of the Year, but it comes down to this event, man. It really does. It comes down to this event. If Miami have a rough event and OpTic make a deep run, I don't know.
It's definitely, I mean, I think right now it's between Super or Rencor. Like, I think as much as I think Mercules has been godlike in the 8 series he's played, as much as Exnid's fun to watch, it's between those two. I got Rencor just because he's played longer. He's made 2 Sundays, one of those being a top 3 before Super. And I think he's been good, honestly, the whole season. And Super's a little suspect on land. We got to see this guy lock in on land. But I got Rencor right now. I'm honestly really high on Rencor. I think he's really good. I think Rencor is really good.
He is.
If Merc wins MVP as the Rookie of the Year, I'm guessing Alex means like MVP of Major if OpTic wins. I'd say yes.
I'd say yeah.
I'd say yeah. If OpTic wins, even if OpTic just wins the Major, honestly, I kind of think he's Rookie of the Year. Like, I know he hasn't played nearly as long as Rencor or even as long as Super, but if you come in, win the event on that team, I mean, technically he played at Major 3, so it's not like his first event, but he got a top 3 at that event with Ultra. He comes into OpTic, who's a top 8 team the entire season, plays well, they win the event. They would only win if he plays well. I kind of feel like he would get Rookie of the Year. At least he'd be deserving to be in the conversation.
There's no conversation in which we talk, they win the event, and he's not MVP. If they win the event, he's MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. That's the only way they win this event, is if he's MVP. That's it. Which, if that were to happen, I don't think it does. That would be sick. But I think it would have to be him. It would have to be him.
Yeah. We honestly, we had a lot of challengers pickups this year, for sure. Not as many rookies. I mean, we've had 6 rookies this year. And I'd say 3 have been great, right? Super, Rencor, and Merc have been great. Even beyond that, to some extent. Exnid, and I'd say Exnid's been pretty good, pretty exciting, right? And then I think Lunars and Dylan Rex have been a little underwhelming. I think Rex has started to find his footing. Lunars has definitely had a couple good series, good maps, but still been, kind of But, across the board, considering half, if not even more, if you want to, say Exnid's got insane potential, considering at least half of the rookies look like pretty quality players, that's a pretty good rookie class. Because, Rencor, Super, and Merc, I think, are going to be in the league for years to come. Genuinely. I mean, I know Super is 24 or 25 years old as a rookie, right? He's definitely older. He should have been in the league earlier, I wish. But you got to think, we got a few good years of Super for sure, and easily a handful of good years, if not more, out of probably Rencor and Mercules. So every year we start to get these quality rookies in, and, the old guys fade out. And it's going to be interesting to see, who comes in next year, who's fighting for Rookie of the Year this time next year when we're talking about it. Yeah, it's been, I can't believe the year's almost over.
The year's almost over, man.
It is kind of stupid that we're 6 months into the season, but we're only halfway through the events. So we still have Major 4 champs in EWC, but we're technically almost done with the year. The way the schedule is, it's just
when is EWC? Mid-August, right?
No, it's end of July, I think.
Oh, shit.
I think it's like a month, maybe a little under a month after champs.
Okay.
I think it's the 3rd week or like 4th week of July is when it is. Which, I mean, I guess is not too long of a break, which is a good thing for us because my stream crashed. Hold.
Your stream did crash.
Hold on. It's going to figure it out. I think it's reconnecting.
According to Envoy, there is no talent on
We're
challenges
back.
and Merc, and
Are we
Mentor
back?
just don't
We're
exist.
back.
Chat, are we back?
We're back. We're back.
Okay.
I think here's
We're
one
back.
of the things. One of the 3 teams one of the 3 big heads have to change. OpTic, LAT, FaZe have to change. If one of those 3 teams change, it shifts the entirety of the league, and that's when Rostermania is godlike.
Mhm.
That's when Rostermania is godlike. I don't think we'll ever see another Rostermania like the season heading into MW3, where 4 just god squads were formed.
Mhm.
We were kind of spoiled, but if one of the 3 of the big
I
LA
mean,
team base won't change, I don't think so either. So it'd probably have to be OpTic. But
I mean, you got to think it's going to be OpTic, right? I mean, there is
Yeah.
a world, I guess. There is a world where like LAT doesn't win anything the rest of the year and they think maybe there's an upgrade available somehow. But you got to think it's OpTic out of those 3 that's most likely to make a change, right? And that change might only be like Hook, which isn't really that big of a change. Like I know Hook's good, but like I mean maybe Ultra makes a change.
unless like FaZe struggles at champs again. You think if they get like top 6 at champs again, they stick again?
I think it depends kind of how like Major 4 and EWC go. If they got like top 6 every event to end the year, then I wouldn't be surprised if it made a change. Because even though they started out so well, it's like that was so many months ago that maybe it doesn't matter. And I mean, at least in the mental, you got to think they'd be a little bit frustrated, even though they won the first 2 events. But I still feel like FaZe is going to end fine. Also, Upcast with another 5, my guy. According to Envoy, there's no talent in challengers, and Merc and Rancor just don't exist. He did say that, which was crazy. But did you see Mercules agreed with him? Merc had that clip on the Flycast where he kind of backtracked a little bit. Like he said he doesn't think there's that many good players, but like there obviously is some good players. But he thinks generally this year the talent's not that good. Merc did not catch nearly as much flack as Envoy did. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, but Envoy was a little bit more blunt about it. Envoy came out and said, these guys are ass and they're not better.
I don't know who Envoy was like. Someone must have said something to him that was like either a Challengers player or like someone who just came out of Challengers and got him a little angry. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely talent in Challengers. There's definitely talent, obviously.
That's why Envoy got some heat. He just flat out said, no, there's no challenge. There's no talent.
Yeah, there obviously is, even though that's my guy.
The 48 best players we see right now are in the league.
Definitely not. Oh, man. But yeah, now Rostermania this year, I feel like there's going to be a lot of like middle of the pack-ish players probably moving. Like Rocker is going to make changes with their players who are all like quality, but just lack consistency and haven't really had the team success. Like, I mean, every team's going to make a change probably other than maybe FaZe and LAT. And even one of them could make a change. Who knows? Toronto, like, what are they going to do if they don't win anything this year? Obviously, you think they got to make a change, but who's it going to be? Is it going to be Insight? Is the Insight CleanX Ultra duo over? Does OpTic say, hey, give us CleanX for Hook? Like, we're going to come in and we're going to get CleanX if he's available. And you'd like, where are they going to go, right? Where's Sib going to go? That's another one that's out there that could potentially be available. What does Miami do? Do they keep their same 4? Do they try to upgrade medals potentially? There's a lot of potential moving pieces, but could also be boring if people just decide to stick or like not really make too many big changes.
Yep.
And then you also got to add in the fact that Gentlemates probably wants to get a good roster. We know they have money to spend, right? They wanted the LA Thieves team, so we know they can spend money. Falcons, we know has money to spend. Whether they will, who knows? But I think they're kind of leaning that way, being as they signed Pred. Twisted Minds, QAD, other Saudi orgs potentially want to come in, take the Boston Breach or the Raven spot. If they're joining, I'd imagine they're at least going to go with like an NAEU roster, not a, Falcons Saudi roster again, like we just saw. Wixel comes back into the league with Roxas and they start running. No, there's going to be some teams that might want to spend some money. So maybe no one's safe, dude. Maybe FaZe or Thieves guys get poached for some big ass bags that the orgs just can't say no to. You really never know. I mean, listen, if Mondesi, who anyone who doesn't watch Counter-Strike, I know you're not big on Counter-Strike, is able to get bought out for $2 million as one of the best players by Falcons, I don't see, there's no reason that, like, there's a price for Shotzi. There's a price for Hydra. There's a price for Simp.
Stop.
There's a number that those owners got to look at and say, that money can set our org up for multiple years to come. And we can still get a decently competitive roster. You got to think it's a possibility. You got to think. But you never know. Maybe they come in and they just pick up, just the middle of the pack quality average players, above average players, and they kind of try to fight for that T6 roster while the other ones continue staying at the top. Paul X also unretired. That's a good comment out of Luis in chat. He is back. He is back.
See that.
He said he feels like he still got it. He still got it in him. He still got more left in the tank to prove.
He's ass.
Okay. My bad, Paul. My bad, Paul.
No, not your bad. His bad. He's ass.
Okay, Paul. My bad, Paul. Man. I'm excited for the end of this year, though. 3 events still within the next 2 months. Rostermania right after. I mean, even Rostermania rumors before then are going to start coming out, especially for teams that don't make champs.
Dude, the second where they're back in Monday after champs, Ronnie's gonna tweet something like discussions have been done.
Yeah.
Discussions are happening.
The Falcons offered OpTic $1.5 million for Shotzi.
Dude, stop. It's not even funny.
Encourage is back too, apparently. I see people saying in chat.
I saw that.
So, yeah. No, it's wow. Dude, I mean, listen, we also have to do our Around the CDL award show. We have to do our updated top 30 lists. We got a couple big shows coming up that I'm also really excited for. Upcast said I beat
Chino and John in a 3v3 CMG
what are the
match
odds?
the other night.
I didn't even know Chino and John were playing CMGs like that. That's a good dub out of you, Upcast. Thanks for the 5.
They're like 45.
Holy
you beat
shit.
people in the retirement home. Congratulations.
Oh my god, and Splitty came in with a $14.99 Aura super chat with no message. Holy shit. Can we get some W's in the chat, though, for Upcast and Splitty for the super chats? My guys, appreciate you. Yeah, no, we should have for our award show. Austin just reminded me, Austin, you're not going to vote, bro. You're not going to vote. But we should have chat vote. We should do a poll with chat that lets them to vote on the awards.
If OpTic win the next 2 matches, are they able to overtake Boston? I don't know. What are the standings?
Let's look at the standings. Let's look at the standings. Overall standings. So OpTic is 165. Boston is 190. So if OpTic closes out these next 2, they would be 5 behind Boston, considering Boston doesn't get any more points going into the major. If OpTic beats LAG and beats Toronto. So they'd only be 5 back, right? They'd only be 5 back. They'd only be 35 back from Ravens, 40 back from Miami. So if OpTic can make a nice little run at this event and their online qualifier with 2 dubs, I mean, shit, they could jump up into the top 5 seed. You never know. I mean, you'd obviously need Miami, Ravens, and Boston to shit the bed, which I don't think all 3 of them will. But it's getting close there. It's getting close. Boston plays LAT and LAG to end it out. So they got a double LA schedule. You got to think, hopefully they can beat LAG, right? I mean, I guess you can't count them out beating LAT either after what we've seen, but you got to think they probably go 1-1, at least get 1, so they're not only 5 ahead of OpTic.
Yeah.
It's 30 if you win the major? No, it's 100 if you win the major, isn't it? I think it's
100.
I think it's 100 CDL points if you win the major.
100 if you win the CD.
So technically, OpTic at the absolute best can end with 285 points. 2 online, 100 for winning the major, which would put them at 5, considering Miami doesn't move past that, or Ravens, or Boston. But Boston couldn't really do that unless I guess they got second and won their last 2 games.
Yeah, the best. So they're 5. I guess they're technically between 5 and 9.
Yeah, technically, I would I would guess they're going to come in at 7 or 8. I think is probably my guess. Abby with the 20 sec no message. Aura Abby, appreciate you. Let's go. Let's go, Abby. But yeah, I mean, if you're coming in as OpTic as a 7 or 8 seed, that means you're playing FaZe or Thieves, right? Unless one of them bottoms out and like Toronto or Surge win this event and get 100 points. You're playing one of those two, which, I mean, at least with Mercules, I guess you got to feel a little better about that, but it's probably not, you know, who you want to play in round 1. Probably not. No. But all right, let's round out the show, man. You got to go to Disney. You got to wake up early. So say your parting wishes to chat, your parting buys, and I guess we'll see you on Monday when you get back. You freaking guys flying first class, chat. PJ.
I'm not flying first class. I don't have a PJ, but you know, whether you love us or you hate us.
Okay, someone's got to say it.
You're still fucking watching. You know what I'm saying? I got him covered. Don't
Let's
worry.
go.
I got him covered. Nah. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for being understanding with all the technical difficulties that we had this past couple of days.
Mm-hmm. Been a wild couple days.
It's been a wild couple of days. But looking forward to a cool weekend of COD. The final online weekend of COD is upon us again. Another season. And then we have DreamHack next week, which will be lit. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy the matches and get back to you on Monday.
Yep.
Where we do our DreamHack brackets.
Yep. Chat. And also Monday, remember, if you didn't hear me earlier, we're bringing guest callers on, guests on the show. So if you do want to come on the show on Monday to give us your predictions for the major, right? Join the Discord, link down below. It should be down there. If it's not, it's definitely down there, actually. So just click that link, join the Discord, set your role, verify yourself on the rules so you can see the whole channel. And we'll be dragging some people into the call next week. And you guys can give us your predictions and takes for the major. First ever time we're going to bring on guests. So, you know, get in there. Get in there. 8s, I think I'm going to run some 8s tomorrow night, just for record, if anyone's wondering. But we'll be watch partying the entire week. Well, I will be. I don't think Alex or Preston will be there, but I'll be watch partying this weekend. Last week in online qualifiers. Chat, we appreciate you as always. Spotify, we appreciate you. Leave a 5-star review. And yeah, man. We'll see y'all later,
I might
chat.
be able to hop on Sunday, actually. We'll see. Because
Okay.
I have an early flight Sunday morning, so.
All right. Well, if you're not exhausted and you want to, you're always welcome.
Thanks,
you know how
man.
it goes. But yeah, chat, we appreciate you, man. Have a good rest of your night. And we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
See you, chat.